Greetings, people of the world, Matthew back with you, and after doing a number of videos that have focused on the quests of White Knight Chronicles, and also doing some random acts of kindness, and also getting to the point where I've matched Rome Mythal in terms of the number of Mega Man video games that I've beaten in terms of classic style console, I've decided that if we only have 48 hours left to live, given that it's December 19th, I'm going to get started on an actual Let's Play. And so, with the end of the world apparently looming, I welcome you to Phantasy Star: The End of the Millennium, the fourth Phantasy Star game made, and this one is for the Sega Genesis. And this was the last one to be used for Sega Genesis, and so this is actually perhaps the game that is my favorite RPG of all time. And I know for those of you who are purists, you're probably like, well, Final Fantasy games are better and Legend of Zelda games are better. What I really like about this one is that I really like the pace of this game. It's not too long and it's not too short. I really find that there's a good balance in terms of how the game can be played. Plus, the way that you can play it is also one that I enjoy, is that there's an interesting strategy that I'm going to be implementing it, and you're probably going to be wondering, well, that's pretty crazy to use that strategy, but there is a method to my madness, and it's something that I'll be discussing as we go along in this particular game. So, I'm going to give you an opportunity to watch the storyline here and basically get you up to speed on how Phantasy Star IV has gotten to this point. So, the first three games, I'm not going to be playing those because those are longer to play and also they're more complex. And it's a lot easier to die in those games. It's not so much so in this game though, and so that's why I enjoy this one more than the first three. So I hope you're going to enjoy it too. So let's get a new game underway. And so this game starts in the city of Viedo, and we're meeting our first two party characters. This is the hunter Alys Brangwyn, and this is her quote-unquote no longer a trainee, now a full-fledged partner, Chaz Ashley. So we're joining these two as they're about to embark on a brand new quest for themselves. And they're making their way to the Motavia Academy, which is located in the town of Piata. And Chaz apparently is quite stoked. And he's looking forward to this. So, off we go, and I would encourage you to enjoy Viedo while you can, because it's going to be quite a while until we come here again. For some reason, they just barreled right over that guy! Yes, it is all I can think about, Alice. Ah, wow. That's quite a blooper to start this game, huh? Anyway, got a bit of a cutscene here. AW2284. Monster attacks have swelled the ranks of those who call themselves hunters. But as the attacks become ever more frequent and powerful, an elite few begin to wonder what is behind this outbreak, and when and how will it all end. So that's pretty much our starting point, and you can actually see Piata in the background there. And suddenly, Chaz is all by himself. And we've got to help him out. But before we do, I'm just going to help things along here. We're going to increase the message speed to maximum, and we're going to do the same with the battle speed, just to cut off a little bit of time here and there. So, yeah, Alice obviously is upset. Okay, so let's go and say hi to the principal of Motavia Academy. Hello there, how do you do? Yeah, we know that. Correction, principal. That's her partner, not her assistant. So this is basically what we are dealing with. These big ugly brains with legs and antennae. And so we gotta go down into the basement of the Motavia Academy and pretty much eradicate them. That's essentially what's happening. And you can rely on me too, because I'm gonna be the one who's controlling them. And Alys wants some answers. And she's not gonna get them. Yeah, this principal wants results, not questions. So, let's go do what we need to do. But first, the conversation between Alys and Chaz, as they try and figure out what the principal is doing. There's some suspicion going on. And apparently that's something Alys can appreciate. So, let's go downstairs first. And I want to do just a little bit of shopping, because we do have some money to be able to do some shopping. So, let's go into the item shop here. Well, if I can. Yeah, I apologize, the lag is also affecting me in terms of controlling these characters, so bear with me on that. So we're just gonna buy some monomates here. I'm gonna be buying 5 of them. It's just a basic recovery item, and that's all we need. Just a little something in case things go wrong and we need to rely on them. So back into the academy. And we're going to go up. No, wait a minute. I went the wrong way. I'm not supposed to go up those stairs. There's stairs down over here that I need to go to. And they're being defended by a guy who's pacing nervously back and forth. So we need to calm him down. Oh, well, what did you mean? And he's enthusiastic about wanting to accompany us. This is Han. He doesn't have a last name that we ever find out about in this game. He's just simply known as Han. And he works for Professor Holtz, who is gone AWOL. And you're searching for the professor's whereabouts by pacing nervously back and forth in the academy. That makes a lot of sense, but not really. And the principal won't let his team do what needs to be done and try and figure out what's going on in Birth Valley. Well, that's definitely being felt by everyone in this party. And Han is reluctant to go downstairs without the help of the others. But there's something that Han is going to have to understand real quickly here. In this game, Han, if you want to play, you're going to have to pay. In this case, he's going to have to pay us 100 Meseta in order to accompany us. And I hope you were paying attention, because you noticed I bought 5 monomates for a total of 100 Meseta. Essentially what Han is going to be doing is reimbursing us. And get used to this. As you can see, I now have 500 Meseta again. Get used to this, because Alys is going to be forcing Han to pay us quite a number of times in this game. So you just saw some of the monsters we'll be dealing with. And now we're engaging in our first battle against a pair of Zoran wolves. So you can fight 2 ways. You can choose to regularly input commands like I've done here. Or you can choose to utilize something else. You can go to the macro here and speed up the process. That'll make things much faster. So with our first monsters out of the way, we get another monomate, so we're now up to 6 of them. And I think Han is doing good for HP right now. Han is pretty much the weakling of the party, and so we're going to need to make sure that he's on his feet at all times. And you may have just seen the text going by that said surprise attack, and that means that we get a free crack at these guys and they can't fight back. And they'll never get the chance. And we get the victory. And another treasure chest with another 100 Meseta. So far so good. So down the stairs. And now we have a trio of Xanafalds, which are the weaker version of the Zoran tools. They go by much faster. And macro again. And that white flash was a critical hit. And Chaz and Han have both gained experience levels. So they're now both at 2. And we're going to use a Monomate for the first time. And as you can see, Han gets healed for almost double his max HP to this point. And so, another confrontation. And that was a bit of a hit there on Chaz. But we should have it here. And we do. And so now we have an antidote, which of course in any typical game is a cure of poison. So let's get these Zoran bolts out of the way. Yeah, freaky creatures, brain creatures with legs and tentacles. Try and figure that one out. So let's see if we can go downstairs. And suddenly, an abrupt halt to the music. In addition to some very weird glass containers that look like giant hearts. And this thing, the first boss of the game. So, let's take on the Iglanova. Now, there is a very interesting strategy that you can use about taking on the Iglanova. You can choose to just play straight up, or you can choose to use the strategy that I'm going to use, which is something that I will be talking about that is very interesting. It involves having everyone defend on the first turn. We're not going to attack the Iglanova right now, but instead we're going to be doing things quite interestingly. You may have noticed that the Iglanova spawns enemies. When that happens, we're going to have Alys and Alys only do the attacking, and she's going to do the attacking for the entire battle. There's no need for Chaz or Han to get involved in this battle, unless they need to do some healing. And as you notice, every time that we kill off one of the Xanafalds, the Iglanova will just spawn another one. And here's the thing, the Iglanova will never launch an attack unless I fail to kill off at least one Xanafalg on the turn. If both Xanafalgs are still there when the Iglanova has initiative, then it will attack me. Other than that, it's just harmless. It will do nothing other than spawn Xanafalgs over and over again, and as I continue to kill off more of them, I will get more experience and I'll get more Meseta. So this is the strategy that I use, and this is a good one to use, especially since we're so early on in the game, when Chaz and Han are both at experience level 2, as opposed to Alys, who's at experience level 7. So just have Alys do all the attacking, and that's all you really need to do. The Iglanova's no threat. The Xanafalgs don't hurt you too much, if at all. So, this is probably the easiest first boss duel that I have ever had in an RPG, and I'm not kidding. The fact that the boss itself doesn't attack you just makes things so easy. But eventually we will be able to kill this thing, because if I remember correctly, the Iglanova has 200 HP. So it shouldn't be too long before we eventually kill the Iglanova off. Now if you really wanted to be cheap, you could just leave it alive and just kill off as many Xanafalgs as you wanted. But I'm not gonna bore you with a strategy like that, because then what would be the point? Anyway, this strategy is working perfectly. The Iglanova has not attacked once. And I just keep getting more free experience as the Iglanova just keeps giving it to me. One at a time. The Santa Frogs go away. Done by only one person, and that's Alys. But we should be reaching a point. I think we're getting close now to killing off the Iglanova. I imagine it'll be soon. A critical hit on Chaz, but it only does 1 point of damage. Like, why bother? Okay, yeah, there goes the Iglanova. So, this battle is pretty much done now, so we'll just go back to using the macro and finish the battle off. And as you can see, it was definitely worth it to use this strategy because I got 129 experience points and 102 Masada, which is much more than I would have gotten if I had just fought the Iglanova straight up. And as a result, both Chaz and Han gained experience levels. And Chaz really did not do much in that battle. He only attacked once and that was it. And Alys pretty much did everything else. So it's time for a conversation with Han, because we need to know why these glass containers are here. Are they breeding monsters? Well, it'd certainly be nice to know if that's true. Yeah, look at Han, he's panicked like, I don't know anything! And you've only been in this room for the first time? How long have you been here at Motavia Academy, Han? Yeah, we're gonna need to get some answers again from the principal. But one more thing before I continue. Something that is quite interesting with Phantasy Star, the characters, as far as the experience levels, they gain at different rates. Some gain experience levels faster and some slower. This can be best demonstrated with Chaz and Han. As you'll see, Chaz has 171 experience points, and he needs 122 more points to get to the next level. But as you can see with Han, even though he has the same experience points, he needs 147 more points to get to the next level. So Chaz will gain experience levels faster than Han will.